Hello, the project I've got for you this time is a baseball cap. It's a bit of a trompe l'oeil thing in that when it's sitting on the table, it's amazing how many people don't see it as a piece of wood. They just see it as a baseball cap because it's got all the details such as the logo, the seams, the strap, the glare vents and the button at the top. But it is wood, and if you look closely you can see all the grain. It's a fairly advanced carving in some parts. This part at the end here, the strap is a bit tricky, but the main thing about it is that it's a bit of sculpture. So we create the form, then we put all these details on top of it. And what we have here, essentially low relief or high relief on the surface. So it's definitely worth having a go. You will need to sacrifice a baseball cap because we'll need a model and we do draw all over it. So as I say, I think it is a great little project, and I can guarantee when you've carved this baseball cap, you'll never look at baseball caps in the same way again. Here's my model. It's my old baseball cap. I like it because it's a light coloured cap. It's got, because of the light colour, it's got lots of lights and shadows. You can see what's going on. So a light coloured cap, a little bit of a badge in the front, something like that will do fine. Now, as you can see, I've actually stiffened this. What I've done is I've used a dilute wood glue. So this is wood glue with water, 50%, and I've brushed it into the fabric and from the inside as well, so that the whole fabric is soaked in this glue. And then I've arranged it using sometimes a bit of paper packed in here to kind of keep that bit out. And if you've got one of those bills at the front that tends to go flat, you can put an elastic band across like that to sort of keep it flexed, because you want a nice curve, because this is, if nothing else, it's a bit of sculpture. It's got depressions, it's got smooth bits, it's got round bits and so on. So arrange your model so that you've got something interesting going on. It's very complicated, as you can see, but we're not going to carve every detail. We're going to simplify that, and we'll talk about that later. So find your cap, get it stiff, and that's our model for our wood carving. What we need is a profile of the hat. So you can put it onto a piece of paper or card like that, and then with a pen or a Sharpie or something like that gives you a good line. Keep it vertical, go around the outside like so. So we go around the hat, all around the bill, around the back here, around the strap at the back and across. So that gives us a nice working drawing like this, which I suggest you then cut out. So that will be our profile that we're going to add to the wood before we bandsaw. Here is my block of wood. I'm lucky enough to have a single piece, and this is lime wood. It's a nice pale wood. Basswood would do very well. I would say that when I was making my model, one thing I did do was to make sure that the height of this hat was the height of this block. That's very important, because what that means is we've got a high spot here which corresponds to some high spot on the wood. So when we glue up the wood, or when we have a block, that's a very important point to make sure we get that thickness. But let me just talk about this wood for the moment. It looks quite good, but actually if I turn it up here, you can see that it's got several problems. It's got a big knot in here, and it's got this fungal thing going on here, which is called foxing. You get that in lime wood sometimes. So you might think, well, we'll put those on the back side and we'll carve our carving on the good side. But actually what would work here is if we did it the other way around and actually found a way of carving these out, getting rid of them all together. So if we look at where this hat is in relationship to this knot here, which comes through to about there, it's coming through the wood like that, the bill of the hat is really much lower, so that all this wood is going to be removed anyway, so we can lose that. And similarly, there's a depression here and there's a depression there that will take this knot out. So if I put my drawing something like so on the what I might call the bad side, I would in fact cut all those bits out and end up with a good piece of wood underneath. So that's my plan here. If you have to glue the wood up for this hat, you have various options. What's important is to try and get the colour match so you don't have lines of joins going through the form. So do try and get the colour matching well. One way to do it, which I've done in the past, is to put my join here. So there is one join of wood at the seam of the bill. So the whole of the bill has no join in it. And then I have a thicker piece of wood from there to there. That's a very good way of doing it. And you just have one line that sort of snakes around here, one glue line. I think that's a very good way of doing it. You could have one there and another glue line up here. An alternative is to put the glue lines this way, to actually glue the woods vertically like this, but that means you get lots of lines across here. So I wouldn't do that. I would try and get at least the bill in one piece of wood so that there's no glue lines here, and let any other glue lines get lost in all that convoluted surface. So we're talking really about gluing up like this. And there's some videos about gluing up wood on the website, and I'll put some details below, reference to those. There's my drawing on the wood, and I'm off to the bandsaw to cut all this out. Here's the block back from the bandsaw. You can see now how I'm going to be able to cut that out, that knot. So now to hold it, I'm going to put a screw, a carver screw in the back. And where I'm going to position it is really where the main bulk of the wood is here. So using my block, I sort of estimated where that would be, somewhere around about here. And then, of course, I've did my recess, my own little nameplate, but I've drilled a first hole dead square, and then I followed it with a second one, slightly larger drill like that. That gave a sort of tapering effect. And then I can screw the woodcarver screw into that this way. If you don't have a carver's screw, you can use a lag bolt, but that's a screwing position. This is a different sort of screw. This is a Veritas one. That would work just as well. So with that screw there, we're ready to mount this. Either it'll be on the bench itself through these holes, or it'll be on a stand or something. That's the way we're going to hold it, so we can get all the way around it. I'm adding a couple of washers here to take up the slack. Then this board goes into the vise either at an angle or more horizontal, and I can turn this around. I can have it much more vertical if I want it, like this. So that's a good way of holding the work.